সাপ লুকিয়ে থাকে। ঘরের দুয়ারে যদি বাঘ এসে হানা দেয়, তবে মনে রাখতে হবে সেই বাঘটাকে হানা দিতে দেওয়া যাবে না, সাপটাকেও ঘরে ঢুকতে দেওয়া যাবে না।
Good evening. I'm coming to you live from the city of joy, and it's here that the battle is certainly heating up. 9 days to go for the first phase. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hit the campaign trail once again, and before the 27th, there'll be 4 rounds of his visit to the state, including his visit to Kontai, which is Adhikari family backyard. Today in Purulia, he responded to TMC's slogan of Khela Hobe by saying that it will be about chakri or jobs, it will be about vikas. And then he came all guns blazing against Mamata Banerjee and TMC, saying Trinamool Congress stands for Transfer My Commission Party. Mamata Banerjee was not very far behind. Addressing a rally in West Midnapur, she called the BJP a party of rioters. She said snakes are at the door, and if they are allowed in, they will seize the lands of the common man, once again tagging the BJP as outsiders. Both sides are leveraging their political brands just days ahead of phase 1 as the poll temperature keeps rising. But the big question remains, with both sides pitching for multiple vote banks to create a complex coalition of support, can brand Modi win the war for the BJP by replicating and expanding the 2019 surge? Or will brand Didi deter the Modi wave and emerge as a powerful regional satrap in a beleaguered opposition? Khela Hobe or game on is the mantra of the polls. Let me bring in my guests. Shatarupa is spokesperson of the West Bengal BJP, Riju Datta, TMC spokesperson. Shatarupa, the BJP's vote share in 2019 was 40%. That came at the cost of the left and the Congress. Certainly on ground, if you look at it, this is appearing to be a bipolar contest between the BJP and the TMC. And this pitch being made by the Prime Minister that Khela Hobe is versus Vikas Hobe or Chakri Hobe. The question is, what are your permutation combination that will take you beyond 40%?
You see, there is no permutation combination as such. We are respecting the sentiments of the people. That is why you will see when the Honorable Prime Minister was hollering at the Purulia Janasabha, that every time Trinamool says Khela Hobe, BJP's answer is Vikas Hobe, development Hobe. Every time Trinamool says Khela Hobe, you see, I can go on, but then the net line here is that Trinamool has made a game out of the sentiments, out of the politics, out of the desire, out of the aspirations of the people. Whatever the people wanted, the change that they wanted when they voted in Trinamool has been completely, people are absolutely disillusioned by what Trinamool has done for the last 10 years. So instead of highlighting whatever she has done, because she hasn't done anything, she has mitigated the entire severity, entire dignity of an election, of a democracy by saying Khela Hobe. So I would like to laud the Prime Minister, congratulate him, thank him from the bottom of my heart for reassuring the people that this election is not a game like what Trinamool is saying. This election is about the permutation combination that you were talking about, is sheer development, is respecting the dignity of the person.
Respond to this, that this isn't about game. Then why is the TMC talking it as Khela Hobe? Game is on. It's about the people, their aspirations, the issues of jobs. How about addressing those rather than saying game is on?
See, Maria, first of all, it is good to see that the Prime Minister is following the Chief Minister's narrative now. Now, the other thing is, when we say it is game on, it is game on for BJP. Actually, it is catch up BJP. And I can summarize the entire Prime Minister's speech today into a small statement, which is lie, lie, and lie some more. Because when he talks about Vikas Hobe, 7 years in center, the Vikas that he has done, petrol at 100, gas at 900, when he says chakri hobe, the matlab jobs hoga, to usme 45-year high unemployment. So, people have seen through the fake promises and jumlas of the BJP regime at the center. What we have done is we have done for the people of Bengal in 10 years, we have printed it in black and white, and we will do more because our
you're lying through your teeth. Forget about the Prime Minister lying. Riju Datta, you're lying.
We will talk about. Excuse me, Shatarupa, madam. When you were talking, I was keeping quiet. This is not another BJP channel.
I'm going to come to you. Let him speak. Let him finish his point.
This is CNN News 18, so please maintain the courtesy. It's not your BJP channel where you can shout over one another.
Shatarupa?
Yes, Maria.
Okay, Shatarupa, the question is that is the BJP playing catch up? Because here is Mamata Banerjee reaching out to the 49% women of the state. Let me finish my question. And the Prime Minister, of course, in Purulia making the pitch that there is absence of clean drinking water and women of that belt have to travel far and wide to fetch water, and the BJP government, if they are voted to power on 2nd of May, will ensure that water is reached to their household. So is there also an acknowledgement that this vote bank, which is very critical, is perhaps looking towards Mamata Banerjee favorably?
No. Do you know how far and wide they have to travel in Purulia? Each household, the people have to travel 5 kilometers. Now you tell me what Riju Datta has been saying or what Trinamool has been claiming, that they have done so much for the people of West Bengal. After 10 years, they don't have normal, proper drinking water in a district. So not a single household. I've been talking to Purulia myself. I've been to Purulia also. They don't have proper drinking water. They don't have proper water in the irrigation canals. There's nothing there. So what kind of development are they talking about? So as far as BJP is concerned, there is no catch up. We are promising proper development. We are promising water to people, which is a basic necessity. Do you know in Purulia, there is a school which has no masters. There are no teachers. There is no single college. There is nothing there for women, despite the fact that there is a woman chief minister for the last 10 years. There is no
yes, Riju, respond to this. Respond to this.
Yes,
why is Mamata Banerjee, who is looking towards, who is seeking the vote of the women of the state, why has she overlooked their needs completely as far as Purulia is concerned, as the Shatarupa is pointing out, that women have to travel far and wide to fetch water? So what has the woman chief minister done for the women of the state?
Maria, Shatarupa, it is my time to speak now. Please,
okay, let him speak.
Listen.
Yes, go ahead.
I think the BJP people need to cut down on their consumption of Bhabiji's papad and brush up their skills on geography, how Purulia is situated. And let me also educate some people that, Mamata Banerjee in their Jal Shapno Prokolpo has invested 58,000 crores to provide water to 2 crore households. And in Purulia, every household has a water line, and you have to understand, even in a place like Purulia, if you do a boring of 350 feet also, it is difficult to find water. So Modi ji's fake promises, what will he do? Will he bring water from Kailash or from Jammu and Kashmir and give it to the people of Purulia? They have to learn geography first. So the lines are already there. There is already a scheme of Jal Bharo Prokolpo.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Riju Datta and Shatarupa, thank you so much. Let's play that story now, because in this multiple narratives that are playing out in Bengal, one factor is also the caste factor. Why are both the political parties reaching out to multiple OBC castes? Why are they promising commission and saying that these OBCs will be recognized? Here's that story, and I'll be joining you tomorrow. United Coffee House, synonymous with Calcutta, has seen a new offshoot in the new town area. Outside the restaurant, Anand and his friends, all first-time voters, discussed the new caste assertion in Bengal. Why is it then that caste has not been discussed in the context of Bengal?
I think in 90s, Jyoti Basu famously said after the Mandal Commission that we don't have caste, we have only class. Mostly because of the CPIM Politburo, or even the main leadership is represented by upper caste people. But I think after emergence of Dilip Ghosh and other prominent BJP leaders, there are upper caste leaders also, but there is significant rise of OBC, other backward class people in leadership. I think that changed the scenario. And I'm not sure whether I should say this, that Bengal is like there is a caste leader and things like that. But definitely that scenario has changed, that landscape has changed. So people have started to think about it. There is a growing Ambedkarite movement is also playing a big part in the political spectrum right now.
But did you all discuss caste when you were growing up in Bengal? Was it ever discussed?
I mean, it was discussed in a very limited way. For instance, I come from a Marwadi community, so I'm a Banya. So in our house, caste has been discussed as a matter of pride, right? Your Banyas from the north who've lived here for 3 generations and made a living. But do we discuss caste in terms of discrimination? No. Do we discuss caste in terms of social justice? No. I never came across somebody who spoke to me about caste and discrimination in my state till I went to Delhi for my, say, undergraduation. That's the first time I met somebody who told me that there is a caste discrimination problem in Bengal. Massacres have also happened in Bengal. If
There's no one identity, just a linguistic Bengali identity, then what is wrong in discussing caste? And why is it being discussed so much now?
I think caste politics has always been very hush-hush in Bengal. We like to think that we are this one linguistic identity, but we are not. We are definitely divided on terms of language, accent, caste and so forth. It is a promising thing that caste is being discussed because it is important to be discussed, because oppression also happens on the basis of caste. So it is good that they are keeping up this topic, but then again we have to see the tone they are taking for this topic. Are they also dividing caste along communal lines? So that is also very important. It's not about pitting one caste against the other, right? It is about development for all. So the language that they use in promoting caste development and doing away with caste oppression is very important.
I think if you're asking me why caste is being talked about, it's because suddenly this myth has come up that lower castes are going to vote for BJP. And there's a lot of paranoia about that. Oh my God, lower caste will vote for BJP, BJP will come to power. So I think in terms of that, is it a good conversation that the state is having? No. Do we need to talk about caste around the year? Yes. Do we need to talk about caste in elections in terms of who will people en masse vote for? I think that's treating people like sheep, right? It's assuming that people will vote like sheep. We're not talking about the way caste has structured Bengali society.
In order to woo multiple castes, more than 37 lakh OBC certificates have been handed out by the Mamata Banerjee government since 2011. With the recently concluded Dware Sarkar campaign expediting the process furthermore. BJP has announced setting up of a commission that will recommend inclusion of left-out Hindu castes in the OBC, such as the Mahishyas and the Telis. Mamata, on her part, has vowed to move for OBC status for the Mahishya, Teli, Tambul and Saha communities. 74-year-old Ashish Kumar Thakur, a retired doctor of a government hospital, belongs to the Matwa community.
For different category of people.
We meet him near his house in Patoli area in the southern fringes of Kolkata.
And when you see that
Thakur says there is moral victory against casteism in Bengal, adding that reservations for SCs is an issue. Mr. Thakur, when you were growing up and you started working in Bengal, did you at any stage feel that there was some kind of caste discrimination?
caste discrimination you will feel, but nobody will utter. The thing is that in case of promotion, in case of transfer, in case of such type of thing, you will be discriminated. But nobody will utter anything. And you have to prove, you cannot prove that you are being discriminated due to that. The thing is that you go to Calcutta Corporation, no reservation policy is maintained. No government, neither Mamata nor any, even during CPM era, no government maintained this reservation policy. And the thing is that in educational institution also reservation policy was not maintained. But this, after certain legislation, this is maintained. But anywhere, whenever they get the scope, they discriminate it.
And then why do Bengalis say that there is no caste here? We are a very liberal society.
No, the thing is that the casteism, this whole idea has been defeated here morally. But the thing is that when, just suppose you are an upper caste, and when you see that another man who is getting a quota from you, your promotion will be deprived, so he gets agitated. So this is dividing the place. What I feel is that reservation should be there according to population for every group, and certain amount should be there for merit. Suppose 30% are reserved for merit and 70% are as per population of different communities. This should be there. But here actually the reservation policy is not maintained. That is why the people who are lower caste, SC, ST and OBC, they get that reservation only. But when they compete generally, they are put into the reserved category. So all the general category, that means 70% are reserved for the upper caste actually.
Padma awardee Dr. Jagdish Haldar was born and brought up in Bangladesh, but migrated in 1970s. This 73-year-old resident of North 24 Parganas vociferously believes that scheduled castes have long suffered as Mamata's government has only appealed to the minorities. Mr. Haldar, everybody seems to be talking about caste now.
Yes.
Is Bengali society very casteist?
I see that in outer face, they are very much liberal and very much communist or non-casteist. But by heart, and by in social practice and service and education, they are all practicing casteism. So it should be removed immediately. Or there will be some another questions here. I discovered, and everybody discovered, there is a huge and heavy caste discrimination in West Bengal, in education, in social sphere, everywhere.
If it's a very casteist society that you're talking about, what is it that Bengal seeks? What do you think will happen in this election?
In this election, they all castes should be united. Hindus, community, lower, upper, every middle, all castes should be united to check this infiltration. Otherwise, it will be another Islamic country. You have heard, you have known that during 2014 or 15, there was a violent burst in Khagragad, that is Bardhaman.
Okay.
That was a Mohammedans, Ugrapanthi, jihadis.
What kind of sufferings we have got?
Abhishek Biswas, a professor of Vidyasagar College, says caste stratification always existed, but has become more prominent in the last few years. Are you finding something very distinct in the sense that one party is talking about Bengali, the larger Bengali identity, the other is trying to have the stratification of castes?
I would just kind of add to your question rather. The party you were talking about the larger Bengali identity, that party also hasn't forgotten the need to talk about caste, because they know the implication of caste. They have created Dalit Sahitya Academy, Manoranjan Bapari being the head. So they also have understood the essence of talking about caste, because the fundamental question hasn't been asked for a long time. The people who came after 1971, are they my citizens? And that question, if it is raised by any political party, will definitely have a very spontaneous kind of support, if not a tacit one. I believe a spontaneous one. And 2019 has somewhere given you the glimpses of this.
And then that brings me to my next question. This stratification that has happened, it's been there in the society, but now it seems to be appearing on the surface.
Absolutely, because the left could for a long time, 34 years, it's not a matter of joke, they have eroded this idea. But recently, what is going on is people are actually talking about different communities and their different needs. See, you go to the Rajbongshis near Coach Bihar and you don't talk about partition with them. But the moment you go to Thakurnagar, you talk about partition. The moment you go to Bonga, you talk about partition. You talk about citizenship. You talk about how citizenship can be given. And there were many political parties who were not very confident in terms of how citizenship should be given to these people. Now, if they get a kind of a signal from someone else that you might be given this, that is a very interesting proportion to watch out for, I believe.
Such is the nature of this outreach that all parties are now prominently talking about the caste identities of their candidates. The Trinamool Congress has fielded Manoranjan Vyapari, a renowned Dalit writer from the Balagad constituency in Hooghly district. Vyapari says it's high time caste becomes the normal discourse in Bengal. क्या ममता बनर्जी दलितों को भूल चुकी थी? ऑल ऑफ अ सडन नवंबर में उनको याद आई?
ममता बनर्जी जब रेल मंत्री रहे, मुख्यमंत्री नहीं रहे, मोहनदास नईमिष राय जी, आपने नाम सुना? इन्होंने भारत घूम करके भारत का दलित आंदोलन का इतिहास एक पुस्तक लिख रहा था. ममता बनर्जी ने उनको मदद किया कि आप लिखो, है ना. ममता बनर्जी जब मुख्यमंत्री बने, नमोसूत्र विकास परिषद बनाया कि नमोसूत्र वो भी दलित में है, उनको विकास हो. मोतुआ उन्नयन परिषद उन्होंने बनाया. अंत में जाके दलित साहित्य एकेडमी बनाया. उनका ये इच्छा था, ख्वाहिश थी कि दलित लोग आगे आए और उनका जो समस्या है वो अपने मुंह से बोले. लेकिन उस तरह जिस तरह उनका उम्मीद था, कोई नहीं बोल पाया. उन्होंने उस कंठ को, उस आवाज को ढूंढ रहा था. पता नहीं मेरे में क्या था, उनको पसंद आया और चुनाव का टिकट दे दिए, ताकि मैं तमाम दलितों को, दरिद्र लोगों को समस्या का बारे में विधानसभा में जाकर के आवाज उठाऊं.
लेकिन व्यापारी जी, सवाल तो ये उठेगा ना कि क्या जिनके बारे में वो 10 साल में नहीं सोचा उन्होंने, अब वो सोच रहे?
नहीं, गलत बात है. 10 साल में उन्होंने जब चुन के तभी से ये सोचने लगे हैं, तभी से ये करने लगे हैं. ऐसा कोई ये जो मंजुल कृष्ण ठाकुर, उपेंद्र विश्वास को जब पद दिया गया, उपेंद्र विश्वास भी हमारे कास्ट का है.
Caste is a reality of Bengal. The only difference is, besides asserting their Bengali linguistic identity, the residents of the state are now discussing it in the open. In Kolkata, with video journalist Ravinder, Marya Shakil.